Dougal is a 2005 animated film about a dog who has to stop an evil wizard from freezing the sun. And it was described by Christy Lemire of Rotten Tomatoes as, and I quote, the laziest, most disheartening kind of animated children's film. Now, as a film major, I've seen many amazing films. Blade Runner, No Country for Old Men, Logan, etc. But one film tops them all in a very unique way. So it's in my professional opinion that that film, Dougal, is the most perfect film of all time. And to explain why, I'll be going over what Dougal is, what a So Bad It's Good movie is, and what makes a perfect film. I'll be starting with what Dougal is, because I'm almost certain that nobody knows what it is. Dougal has a very complex production history. It's based on a 1960s stop-motion series from Britain called The Magic Roundabout. And in 2005, a Belgian 3D animated film was made based on that, and it had the same name, The Magic Roundabout. But it was bought by the Weinstein Company and remade for an American audience and renamed Dougal. Now, it's essentially the same, but the main difference, the only difference, is that it's completely recasted and the main cast are all celebrity voice actors. These include Chevy Chase, Jimmy Fallon, Whoopi Goldberg, Kevin Smith, and Ian McKellen. And to top that all off, Butch Hartman was brought on to write the script for this new remake. But all of his ideas were rejected until he was essentially kicked off the project. He elaborated on his role in the creation of Dougal in an interview with the Speech Bubble podcast, where he said, and I quote, "Most of my stuff was rewritten, re-recorded, and so the movie you see, I had maybe 3% to do with it." So, what is this final product that was made without Butch Hartman's guidance? Well, it was a train wreck. It epitomized the term so bad it's good. Now, what is a so bad it's good movie, you might be asking? A so bad it's good movie is a movie that's so bad that it is enjoyable. It's laughably bad. And this isn't to say that a film that is bad is automatically laughably bad. But Dougal is so bad it's good. But specifically, the plot is so cliche that it's clearly and visibly trying to rip off the plot of Lord of the Rings. And the humor, what makes the film mainly so bad it's good, is so cringy and cliche that it's visibly trying to imitate the humor of Shrek. And that humor is laughably bad. Like, I can't help but laugh every time I hear any of those terrible jokes. That's how bad it is. And that humor is best described by another Rotten Tomatoes critic named Nathan Robin. And he said, and I quote, "Hungering for more references to the What's Up commercials, Dr. Phil, Bling Bling, The Lord of the Rings, MC Hammer, or The Matrix? Don't worry, Dougal contains all of these." Now at this point, you might be asking yourself, so what if it's so bad it's good? That doesn't make it perfect. Some of the greatest films of all time have never been considered perfect. The Godfather goes on for a little too long, gets boring at times, and even my favorite movie of all time, A Silent Voice, expects its audience to forgive a glorified psychopath. So, in these people's eyes, no film, no matter how great it is, can be considered perfect. But what if The path to a perfect film isn't in making it good, but rather in making it bad. A great analogy to this is that in school, many teachers will give their students A+s on huge tests if they can get a 0 on it, because if a test is big enough, it would be impossible to get a 0 without knowing the right answers. Now, I'm not saying that Dougal is intentionally bad, but it's so bad, perfectly bad, in the best possible ways, that it feels like that. It's best described by YouTube movie reviewer Rebel Taxi, who, when comparing Dougal and the Magic Roundabout, said, and I quote, "If I had to watch one of these versions again, it'd be the American one. Hear me out. Do you want an average, nothing special European movie, or a horrendous American bastardization? If it's gonna suck, it better be a mess." So in conclusion, is Dougal the best movie of all time? No. Is it the worst movie of all time? No. Is it my favorite movie of all time? Still no. But it's the most perfect movie I've ever seen. It's a movie that didn't need to exist. A movie with so little effort in it, but just enough to keep it entertaining. And because of that, I believe it to be perfect. It's best described by another Rotten Tomatoes critic who actually had something good to say about it. Frank Lovis said, and I quote, that it's a delight for very young children and any parent who will get the Attorney General joke of Geneva Convention. I don't care if it's a Star Trek convention. That one is far funnier in the movie. It's all about the delivery. But essentially, Dougal is terrible. It's absolutely awful. But I wouldn't have it any other way.